If you are considering the Masters of Ed program at the University of the People and you watched this video and now you're not interested, I'd like to offer some clarification and some comments. Hey there, my name is Yael Bass. I make content on the University of the People. I graduated from the program in 2023. I make content on how to be successful in the Masters of Ed program and teaching content in general. So this gentleman hates the University of the People with such a hatred. It doesn't make any sense to me, but he has never even been a student at the university and he claims that he hates it. So let's kind of figure out why, and I'd like to clarify some misunderstandings.
Nationally accredited, but not regionally accredited. Regional accreditation is the highest form of accreditation that a university can have. But here's the thing, like 85% of universities in the United States are regionally accredited. There are only a small percentage that don't qualify. And I'm going to get people in the comments saying like, oh, but they're trying to be. Yeah, they're trying to be, but they're not. Okay, they're not. And maybe they will be. They've been around for like 15 years and they still haven't crossed that line.
So I understand that this video was made a year ago and he did make an updated video about 8 months ago. So we do know that the University of the People is regionally and nationally accredited. So they're legit. They got their regional accreditation in February of 2025, which according to sources and according to him, based off of his knowledge, it makes it a more reputable university. Now we're gonna hear a little bit about how he's kind of like frustrated that the University of the People calls him free tuition, but they're really not.
It drives me absolutely crazy. If we go into their tuition-free description, if we scroll down here, here's what we're gonna learn. Why tuition-free? How it works. This is almost laughable. I mean, I do advertising for a living. This is almost laughable. University of the People's tuition-free model is 100% real. And then the next paragraph, it says, a bachelor's degree.
And perhaps I agree with him to a certain extent because he's frustrated with the fact that, oh, it's tuition free, and then you click on it and then it tells you that there's all these fees. But based off of my understanding, I always saw those fees as administrative fees, not necessarily tuition fees. So let's break down the difference between what tuition covers and what tuition doesn't cover on a macro level in higher education. So what does tuition usually cover? We have the cost of instruction, professors, courses, lectures, access to course materials online, which is true. They don't charge you for the curriculum or for even accessing the curriculum. And you will actually pay all these administrative fees at the end. So what is usually not covered by tuition? We have application fees, assessment or exam fees, books or learning materials, technology fees, proctoring fees, and optional costs like transcript requests or graduation fees. So tuition free means you don't pay for the teaching itself. However, even those fees that are outlined on the website are quite affordable when you compare them with what master's programs or bachelor degree programs cost at your traditional university.
The next thing I don't like about this school is that they're not hackable. If you've followed my channel at all, I teach all about how to accelerate college degrees in a matter of months instead of years. I earned my bachelor's.
So basically the purpose of his channel and the videos that he puts out is to make university hackable. And although you can complete your degree program sooner than 2 years for your master's, sooner than 4 years for your bachelor's, you will actually have to take more credits to finish earlier. And the University of the People actually discourage their students to take on a certain or beyond a certain number of courses. So, and the reason behind that is because they don't want you to be bombarded and not able to balance your coursework properly. If you want to make university hackable, then this university is not an option for you. It's also not fair to say that this university is just not an option for folks, especially in an economy here in the United States that is not the best for our young generations.
But what we're talking about here is actual respected degrees that are going to benefit you more in your career. And I know, yes, like I've heard of people going to University of the People and getting into law school or actually making it further, but there are easier, faster ways that give you a much higher percentage chance of doing those things. So this is the reason I absolutely hate this school, because in comparison to what I teach and talk about on this channel, this is crap. It's crap, okay? Now, if you own a business and you want to go learn some business stuff, great. But if you want the degree to benefit your career, there are faster, cheaper ways to do it. And
I
you
personally don't believe that the school that you go to has a lot of weight when it comes to employers and interviewing for jobs and applying for jobs. I think what really matters is your experience, the interview, if you fit into the company culture. In my personal experience, I mean, I've worked with people that graduated from Harvard and graduated from Stanford and Ivy Leagues, and were they the best teachers? Not necessarily. And sure, I agree with him that now that the school has regional accreditation and national accreditation, it makes them more respectable. I do disagree with the fact that just because that there are better options and that you will benefit going to another university versus the University of the People, the experiences vary greatly, and I just don't think it's fair for him to make claims like this. And the fact that he calls the university crap is just completely misleading, especially because he was never a student at the university. I mean, I would probably try to understand him better if he was a student, but he wasn't. So if you want to learn more about the Masters of Ed program or just the University of People in general, you can check out my full review here and my full playlist on how to be successful in the Masters of Ed program in depth. I screen record. I was an actual student. I graduated in 2023, and that is it for today. Bye.